Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from our studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you our first impression session of our PSI Presents stream, where we show off some awesome games in PSI's catalog. And in the first impressions, we're going to be talking about our favorite aspects of the game, any constructive criticisms we had, and the most important question of the evening of would we play this game again. And tonight we had the pleasure of showing off Outlive by Dude Games. But first up, who are we? As usual, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
And we are Twist Gaming. Thank you all for joining us. So first and foremost, Josh, what is Outlive?
It's a post-apocalyptic victory point game. So we're trying to get the most survival points. We have our fallout shelter, nuclear.
We're assuming not George W. Bush. Nuclear.
Nuclear disaster happened. There's radiation. So we're trying to manage everything. We're going out to collect resources to upgrade our fallout shelter with rooms.
Right.
Get more survivors and kind of build up our settlement. And we also get some equipment and stuff to help us along the way. You have 4 heroes, which are your characters going around on the board collecting stuff.
And then you've got survivors that are basically helping out your fallout shelter from the interior.
There's a little bit of player interaction with pressuring people.
Right.
So if you guys are a little bit stronger than the other guy standing there, you can pressure him to give him some resources and bully him around. You can go hunting for resources. You can just gather resources from locations, sack the cities, and do different things. So there's a lot of different things like that. And it's got a special movement mechanic that I really didn't think about much before we started.
Of you have to move off your space, and you can't move onto a space that someone else is on.
One of your other characters that isn't active yet.
It's interesting.
It makes it very interesting to how you have to go into your movement and stuff like that.
Right.
Because there's parts of the game where like, oh, I can't get to that space with any of my characters.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about our favorite aspects of the game, and we like to start this off with the person that won. And tonight, that was Josh.
Yep.
So Josh, you got all the equipment. But so what were some of your favorite aspects of Outlive?
I liked the pressure mechanic.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and I could see that being a lot bigger in like a 3 or 4 player game.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more people kind of going after each other. And I be a lot more resource heavy too.
Yeah, I see that the second player game was very much more scavengy, while the 3-4 player game is going to be much more let's pressure each other, beat each other up, very resource light. I mean, I see that they do increase as more players are added, but at the same time, certain areas are going to be overwhelmed quicker and make it harder for you to actually go and get resources.
And I think more animals would get hunted and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different things in here, and the cities will get sacked quicker.
Correct. Yeah.
That doesn't increase.
Oh.
I mean, they do because you don't discard as many. So like the full stack stays in there in a 4 player game, and you only discard 2 in a so that there is some more resources.
Okay.
I like that. I liked the movement, how that movement mechanic actually worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I didn't think about it before the game, and I really. So you have 2 sides of it. It's like, all right, can I get here? And then you're like, oh, do I want to move my 3 yet because he might get pressured by Matt because his 5's within range or something. So there was that whole, do I want to move there yet or not? And then there was like, oh, I have someone there that's idle. I need to move them out before I can move another character in.
You know what this kind of reminded me of? The slidey puzzles from back in the day, where you're because the last round I had I'm going to show off the board here. So the last round I had a animal that I wanted to hunt here, but I had someone laying down in that space. I had this guy up here that I was about to move, and then I had this person here and this person here. It's actually just like that laid out. But so I wanted to get this guy over to here to kill the animal, so I had to move this one. But after I moved him, I wanted to be able to get the water here, but I didn't have any microchips. So I wanted to move him here to kill the animal and get the microchips. But in order to do that, I needed an extra bullet. So then I needed to move this guy here to get the bullet. But first I needed to move this guy off of here. But then I wouldn't be able to get the water. And it's like this weird cyclical argument that you're having in your head of trying to figure out how to move the pieces in this puzzle-like manner to be able to move how you want and get the resources in the correct order.
and also worrying about how other players are going to move around.
Exactly. And then right before I was about to do that, you jumped in and you killed the animal because you're a jerk. I killed your animal, I know, but mine was worth more.
But yeah, no, I like that. I like the random setup of the game is very interesting. So how the game starts off, you get 2 leaders you can pick from, and then you have 3 starting rooms, which are all the same, and then you get 6 generic rooms, and there's a whole stack of rooms.
Yeah,
there's like maybe 2 of each or something like that.
Yeah, I really love the fact that there was the randomly assigned rooms. I personally would have liked to have seen maybe a few more choices where like maybe you got dealt 6 and then as you build them you can put them onto your map. But at the same time, I really like the individual ability of the rooms. They add a lot of replayability, and on top of that, there's also the unique player powers as well. Not necessarily player powers, but player starting gear, which effectively gives you powers.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy that, and I thought that was a really nice mechanic. I'm a big fan of that. I also love the way that the game handled the radiation, where you have to find new people to man your airlock to get rid of the radiation, but also there's no way for you to bring the radiation down unless you get these algae pills.
Yeah.
But that only brings it down. It doesn't prevent you from taking radiation, but then you need water. Like, it's very... Everything's interdependent on something else, and I think the game does a very good job of that. Anything else from you, Josh?
I think you hit... the art's beautiful in the game, too.
Oh, yeah. The board's really pretty. You can see it on there, but the board's super-duper pretty. All of the components are nice. The quality of these is ridiculous.
The resource tokens are...
The resource tokens, you could, like, they're cardboard, but I'm 90% sure you can club a man to death with them. Those are super-duper thick. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, but in a good way. Like, you can pick these up off the table if you don't have any fingernails.
Yep. No, they definitely... but no, we were looking at the events and everything, and there's some interesting things. And I think now that we both played a game, our second game would be a lot
very different.
Because we understand everything a little bit better, we would get some better start. I had a really good combo of my rooms going on that was unintentional.
I did not.
And
my rooms were all I did not set up my rooms properly, and I did not value gear appropriately enough. But I definitely see how that would work moving forward. So I'm really interested in seeing the different synergies of what you can do, and like even how drawing the different rooms in the beginning is going to change up your play strategy. So that's really neat.
And like there's I don't know how many rooms are there. Let me tell you in a second. There's 38 advanced room tiles.
Okay.
There's 40 equipment tiles.
Okay.
So, and then there's 12 event cards, and we played 6 of them.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that each round has a different event. It gives you a different feel each round. So, again, potential to really change up your strategy each round as well.
And I can see those events stacking, like getting
real nasty.
Some of them can be really nasty. Like if we got there's an event that we didn't play, which is Sandstorm. So it makes your level 4 and level 5 heroes
level 3
AP3 for resolving things, and that's a lot of resources to get out of.
Yeah, just not pressure, but that's a lot of resources.
It's a lot of resources, and so like that would be really hard to take out.
Yeah. All right, so jumping into the constructive criticisms portion of it, what aspects of the game would you change given the opportunity? And again, this is our first playthrough, our first impression, and our personal opinions on how we would handle this. I want to start us off, and I shouldn't have switched away from the board. Board art's gorgeous. Absolutely love the theme and the flow of everything, like hunting in the forest and getting wood, the mine hunting there, the abandoned mine, the 2 cities. You have the military base. I like the fact that the dam, when you have to like use the code to the access door and the technology. I don't get this. That there's an abandoned fair with animals with microchips that you're harvesting. The biggest stretch that I can see there is like saying that it's like Disney where they've got animatronics and stuff. I feel like they wanted to include a post-apocalyptic fair, and they put it in there, but it would have been better served to maybe be like a factory or like a laboratory or even a school, like a university. I feel like it would have worked a little bit better. Personal opinion.
No, personal. There's a couple story like the using the microchip to get in the dam was a little weirdish, but not a.
I could see that.
But no, there wasn't a big.
The game is like The game's got a lot of polish to it.
Yeah. The game's a little overwhelming when you unbox it. There's a lot of... Can you just kind of pan over the table?
Yeah, there's a lot of components.
Yeah,
There's 2 of us playing this game.
Yep. I put some of it back in the box.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on, for sure.
But I wish the rulebook was maybe laid out a little bit better. Apparently there's a newer version of the rulebook online.
Okay.
That might fix some rule clarifications. Like there really isn't much to say about like issues with the game. It was
right. It played very nicely. The theme's very nice. The artwork's gorgeous. It's got a lot of polish. The component quality is really nice. You can tell that this game has been gone through with a fine-tooth comb pretty well.
Yeah.
So big shout out to
Dude
Games on that. Outlive is it's very pretty the way it lays on your table. It's a lot of components in the box as well. That's definitely a plus for some people.
Yeah.
Because more components is more stuff. You get more stuff, more bang for your buck. Anything else that you wanted to talk about?
I think we hit most of the bigger points there.
So, finally, most important question of the evening. Would you play this game again?
Yeah. I think this is it's kind of a later Euro-ish kind of. Still got a little bit of take that kind of with the pressure, just a tiny bit. That isn't overwhelming, and you can kind of mitigate it a little bit.
Right.
And I like to see this in a 3 or 4 player game.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would play this again. I wouldn't necessarily jump at the idea of another 2-player game because I felt like it was kind of just you take your turn, I take my turn. But in a 3-4-player game, I can see there being a lot more.
You like the player interaction.
I like the player interaction. Yeah. That's my personal opinion in board games. So I would definitely love to try this out with 4 players. It goes up to 4, right?
Yeah, it goes up to 4. And we had a decent amount of player for this to be more on a Euro side again. This has more player interaction.
Absolutely.
Than a typical Euro.
All right, so I think that's going to conclude this evening's first impression stream for Outlive by PSI Presents. Stay tuned for our giveaway of a copy live of Outlive in just a moment. And if you are watching video on demand, make sure you join us live and enter our Gleam giveaways. We said our code word before. We're going to say it again as we stop recording as an incentive for you guys to watch us live. But signing off for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
And we are Twist Gaming. Good night, everyone.
Good night.